welcome back. Here we are, game number 3 coming at us here. The time to win. Heroes and Earth Invitational. This is the third game of our third place matchup. Again, the winner of this game here will be your third place finisher. So will it be Fresh or BMG? That's what we're here to find out. Fresh win in the first game, BMG win in the second game. And we know it's going to involve deadlift here once again. Welcome back. So we're engrossed in my co-cast here. The sigh of just disappointment.
You know what?
Right there.
I don't have a problem with them picking it because they just faced it. So I don't have a problem with it this time. I just don't like watching the hero. But, I mean, in terms of being mannered, I don't have a problem with them picking it because, I mean, they just faced it. So,
in terms of being mannered, I love that.
I mean, it's just, if you're going to play it in the series, then I think both teams should be allowed to play it in the series. If no one plays it, then no one should play it.
All right. Yeah, BMG got to play the last game, and again, clearly it definitely got a lot of control in the early game, as we pointed out, and didn't look back from there. So now I will say BMG final picked a deadlift. However, this is a second pick deadlift on the side of Fresh, so you don't have nearly, or you have a lot more time even this time to kind of react to it, and I think we're going to kind of see that right there. Master of Arms coming out in a couple ways. He's great for counter push, but he also does bring that defensive Master's Call in case somebody does get caught by deadlift.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit there.
I'd actually really like to see them pick up an Ophelia along with it because that would almost guarantee that anytime they jump on someone with the deadlift, they would most likely live with the combined shield and the heal. So I actually do like that pick against deadlift. The problem is I don't know where this deadlift's going yet. So if it ends up being a jungle deadlift actually this game, it won't do as much because he won't be pushing lanes as fast, et cetera, et cetera. He'll be ganking a lot more. So just have to see, and into the clanks.
Into the clanks we go for Fresh. Going to give it to Probosco, I'm sure. So on the deadlift and the clanks right here. Going to run that supporting cast around him. So BMG even further now of how do you respond to this? They want heroes that are ideally can catch and chase down a, Sandwraith definitely comes to mind as kind of proven to be a good carry counter to a clanks.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen I think Balthazar has played Sandwraith in the past, but it just doesn't seem like his style of carries, I want to say. So, yeah, it's a great hero against him, but I just don't see Balthazar playing it. And, I mean, it would fit the global of their team if they did go the Ophelia.
They're going to go Legionnaire, and it's kind of another interesting take, too, because he's one that, he could taunt and aggro all the creeps and get a lot of spin procs, you could argue, and, good for maybe catching that clanks as well with Portal Key and the charge and whatnot, but not your everyday jungler. We'll see how Teletic does on it here for BMG. Now back to, now we got the bans here, and you see right away Sandwraith being banned, sure enough. So, yeah, I'm with you where Balthazar maybe doesn't necessarily seem like a player that, maybe plays a lot of Sandwraith, but in a matchup here, it seems like it definitely could have made sense. So they're not going to give it the risk of being picked. They will take it away. See Riptide and now Swiftblade being banned. We got 3 more bans to go here.
Yeah, it looks like the Legion team looks a little confused. I mean, not in terms of like player base, but I mean like the heroes. Like Deadlift and Midas kind of want to start forcing fights pretty early, where Clanks really doesn't peak until he gets those first 3-4 items. So we'll have to see what heroes they followed it up with. If they followed up with 2 aggressive heroes that can kind of push and do whatever with the Midas and Deadlift, and this Clanks can just farm, it could be pretty beneficial to them.
Moira, Moraxis, and then there's Andromeda coming out. So, now into the picks. Back to that. Andromeda, that final ban from Fusin. Again, a hero that good support to have with Clank, so Fusin, some good thought in that one there. Moira actually another one of those for that matter. So definitely making a point of taking away these defensive supports. Pearl's been something we've seen a little bit as of late.
Yeah, I mean, against Legionnaire, it's pretty good, because I was trying to... Rhapsody is kind of the only other really defensive support. I mean, even Monarch as well might not even be that bad this game. That cocoon is very well. I don't know what is it called? Chrysalis. Chrysalis.
Chrysalis, yeah.
Is very strong, and I mean, once you max it, you can sustain a lot of damage. So okay, go with the Rhapsody.
Yeah, definitely not a bad choice, but I don't know. At the same time, I'm honestly liking Pearl more, you know, for the sake of the pushback, the preservation, the purge. I'm pretty sure you can purge Master's Call from Master of Arms. So there really is several things why I think Pearl actually would have been a really powerful pick here, honestly. But, I mean, the Rhapsody at the same time, it's not a bad pick. She does bring the Disco Inferno, you know, and of course her ultimate here in the end, so.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with Rhapsody with Clanks, because especially once he gets that portal key, can really keep that Clanks alive, and that is a good hero. I like Gladiator a lot, especially in this game. I mean, they have 2 in-your-face melee heroes, so yeah, that ulti could be pretty beneficial this game.
Yep, Master Call to Arms, definitely something that has kind of grown on the scene and really proven to be one of the strongest abilities in the game even. So, Bad Monkey Gaming, they're right-clicking Arachna here. It's kind of another one that her W does dispel the deadlift of the grip there, so.
Yeah, and I think I've talked about it before. I really like the new Arachna. I think it's so strong at this point, and especially with Clanks, pretty much guaranteed to go Wingbow. Definitely a good pickup.
They're thinking about Hag even, apparently. And they end up with Madman. So
they do that.
that could take a turn there. They go from Arachna to Hag to then a Madman is their actual pick. Okay.
Not the biggest fan of that pick, depending on where it's going to go. Okay, Make is going to... Okay. Oh, okay. So, okay, they're playing a carry Master of Arms. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a mid Madman?
Let's get it on.
Boxy and Make interchange so much, so it could be a mid Madman, I guess, with the Lodestone Suicide.
I wouldn't be surprised if they Suicide Madman.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, I looked. Okay, that's what it's going to be. They're putting gave the hatchet to the Lodestone.
Yeah. Sent him long lane. But now the question is, too, the Legion side, in fact, you see Denver Pro, he actually goes the same exact stuff that Teltook went. He goes the boots, the tree eaters, and he's headed towards the top lane up here. So we saw Teltook do this a lot. It eventually ended up being kind of a secondary support roamer in the end. Now, again, early game impact, it was great, and it definitely set the tone of the game. As the game progressed on, his levels were nerfed, though. That was definitely evident. So you need these early ganks to work. And again, this kind of goes back to, though, they second picked the deadlift this time around. As, oh my gosh, they're going to have a clash right off the bat. They find Lodestone, actually. Now, the death grip was used in his face. That's not the way you want to use it, necessarily. And Lodestone's going to be fine.
Catch him. Oh,
wow. Yeah, you're right. They're actually chasing pretty heavily here. The pitfall is going to hit. And Lodestone is going to die. Never mind about being fine there. Wow, they pursue for the kill. However, Deadlift's going to die. All right. They could have won for one.
Okay. Sure. Who got... Oh, I mean, Probus did get that kill, actually. He did get the Bloodlust.
Uh-oh.
So that's going to give him a pretty good start to this game. Yeah, but I mean, Bel's also got the return kill, so both carries getting a kill to start here, and they're both losing their secondary support / suicide. Well, I mean, Lodestone's miding, actually. So yeah, that was actually a pretty big kill on the Lodestone, in all honesty. I think that was definitely a good trade for the Legion team.
Yeah, I mean, getting the Bloodlust in the first place, of course, always going to give you that slight benefit, if anything, but the fact that it ended up 1-for-1 was a little crazy, but good job pursuing, chasing down the Lodestone. We do see Boxy is heading back up here, and it looks like he is going to end up here in the end. You got Madman staying bottom. That means Baltazar here on this Master of Arms. This is a fun skin, by the way. Definitely a different-looking Master of Arms, but it is pretty cool with the... she holds those and changes colors and everything. Anyways, the point is, playing Master of Arms middle. Aluna, I assume, is going to eventually end there. Maybe waiting to see where the Legion team ends up. And we see right here, They're going to collapse on a Luna. Legionnaire's nearby, but he's not the most threatening at level 1. And they're taking advantage of that. However, Rhapsody is in trouble, but down goes a Luna, and Rhapsody will follow to Legionnaire. So another 1-for-1 coming out between the teams.
Yeah, I mean, that gave Lego a kill, though, so that one wasn't so beneficial. But, yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. I mean, I guess they're using their deadlift, but they might be using it a little bit too much.
Yeah, again, he's kind of playing this harasser, this secondary support roamer in the end, not really jungling at all, especially going the death grip with that level 1. So they're going to need to constantly continue to use that. We see top lane may try for something up here onto Lodestone with it, but Aluna's playing more of a Legionnaire protector, it even seems like. She's kind of chilling nearby. She is making her way to the middle lane now and going to make it more of a 2 versus 1 here. So Master versus Gladiator will turn into a Luna and Master versus that Gladiator. Top lane, Lodestone. Here comes that Death Grip. Here to use the Rocket Drill. The Death Grip was pretty close, though, so he didn't get the longest immobilize, and it actually might be the difference. Never mind. Sasuke does chase him down.
Close. Actually, kind of looking at this deadlift pick again, it sounds kind of weird to say, but I don't feel Denver Pro is very confident or comfortable on this hero, I should say, because he hasn't been using his Qs to their full effectiveness, but
yeah,
still been working.
Yeah, no, it's pretty clear to me that they picked this kind of as a, you know what, you guys played it so well, we can also play it pretty well. But yeah, whether or not the most practiced with it, I'm with you there. Now, obviously, we're gonna wait to see as this game continues on a little bit more. But yeah, maybe he specifically hasn't played it the most, but it's something you can pick up on pretty quickly. I would feel like too.
I'm sure after a couple more Qs this game, he'll be totally fine.
Yeah, not that big of a deal really. And now they're trying to work around this middle lane here as. How has Gladiator? I mean, he's 9-3. Again, it did start out a 1 versus 1. You got Master of Arms currently looking at 9-3 as well. So this is actually a very back and forth, even despite Luna rotating here. Gladiator's managing pretty well, actually, in that middle lane.
Yeah. Does have the whip and his pitfall to get some last hits, so definitely a decent hero to be in a 2v1.
Yeah.
Should be okay.
Wait, is that? No, that is a illusion there. The real deadlift is coming bottom. And do they have any kind of dust? They don't, I don't think. Oh, never mind. They do. That Death Grip going to catch, and Madman is going to fall. So coming in with the dust. Sets up the kill.
I'd really like to see Deadlift pick up a Chalice here and start farming the jungle a little bit, get some levels, because we saw... Oh, mid lane.
Catch on the Gladiator. Lodestone coming with the flank. He pitfalls on himself, hoping that somebody would be on top, but that was a good job by the Hellborn team picking up on that. They didn't fall for it, and they avoided it and then eventually chased him down. So obviously a tough spot for a different guy to be in, and good kill though for the Hellborn team. Definitely one that they're kind of keeping this Legion team in check here. I mean, sure, Deadlift is roaming and setting up kills, but it's only 4-3 hero kills now. So it's not too bad actually for BMG.
BMG's doing well right now, and they even have some decent farm on this Lego. And knowing Teltuk, I feel like he's just going to save and buy a portal key and have like a 7-8 minute portal key, but we'll have to see.
That's true. He is choosing to pass up of going the bottle here, which the Strider's bottle into portal key is, of course, kind of that build that we have seen a bit of Legionnaire when we happen to see him. But yeah, going 1,000 gold now saved up. Could just go straight into it at this rate. I feel like, you know, kind of want that regen, but hey, he's the one playing it, and if he's comfortable this way, then so be it, of course.
You would think he'd want the regen.
Yeah.
We would all think he wanted the regen.
Yeah.
Top lane.
They're going to catch Midas here. There's the taunt, keeping him in place longer. And you see also that goo, man. It minus armor. It's -4 right now at level 3 of the ability. Soon to be -5 once it gets it maxed out even. So it's a lot of minus armor and will amp that damage quite a bit.
And especially at max level, it gives every hero but the Clanks 0 armor. So anyone who gets caught in is going to be melted, especially when Teltic does get his portal key relatively shortly, because he does pretty much have it, 500 gold.
Top lane, Aluna. He's going to come behind Midas right here, but without Legionnaire 2, maybe not a biggest threat for the kill to happen. But yeah, Probusk 2-0-0 now, 414 gold per minute. He is having a fantastic time here at the bottom lane, already with the steam boots. Putting some pressure into Madman here, but Madman's not showing that he's scared. I mean, when it's just Clanks, of course, he doesn't need to worry, but this he does need to worry about. Deadlift coming over, but he is going to fall back. They have a ward aside at the Conqueror Pit. So my guess would be that they definitely saw that coming. Gets in the information of fall back here. Lodestone is going to bottle up a double damage rune in the meantime. And is actually headed towards the top lane. So Midas, he might be in trouble. Yeah, he didn't have vision of seeing this. So Lodestone turns back, actually.
Are they going to go? Yeah, it looks like they're going to go right here.
Yeah, they could definitely still go without Lodestone. There's a stun. Midas. Here comes Legionnaire. And down goes Midas. So Lodestone not even necessary there. Good job, again, collapsing.
Yeah, and hopefully the Legion team did just pick up on the fact that Legionnaire hasn't bought anything other than the Striders, so they should realize he's going to have a fairly early portal key and hopefully give Probust warning.
Middle lane, Gladiator goes down. That double damage to Lodestone using the Shatterstorm. And again, so much damage. I want to say he started close to full life right there and ends up just melting. Because of the Shatterstorm, the head smash, and then a double damage room didn't hurt either. Secure a kill, so different guy being slowed down a little bit. Now it's 2 deaths here. And the GPM charts, I mean, sure, Probusk is on top of it, but you got Legionnaire, Master of Arms, and now even Lodestone jumping up there for Bad Monkey Gaming here. And I wonder what kind of build Master's going to go. He is an interesting hero as far as what we could see on him. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to see the Thunderclaw. I think it's just he needs that kind of farming mechanism other than just his W, so I would like to see maybe the Thunderclaw. He might actually need an Energizer this game. So maybe Thunderclaw and Energizer, and then kind of whatever he wants to go after that. There's so many item choices for that hero that it's not limited by items.
Yeah, Nullfire Blade is definitely one that comes to mind on Master of Arms. You know, obviously very effective with that red gun of his, the constant burst. A lot of mana drain can come from it. On top of just the purges, it's definitely a couple things this game that you could arguably want to purge here. So,
Deadlift being one of them.
Yep.
So yeah, Nullfire is definitely could be a pretty high priority. But yeah, like I said, just the Thunderclaw to farm, and kind of go whatever he wants after that. So yeah, and yeah, I would like to see the Nullfire, especially being the Deadlift in this game.
Rhapsody. Oh, she's gonna barely live. Actually, Master's Call coming on a Madman right here. Helping us keep him alive, but he does fall in the end, and now Legionnaire, actually. That straight portal key, it's good to catch, but not so good to survive with. Midas goes down, this fight's not over just yet, though. Lodestone off to the side, he'll barely survive. The Death Grip, however, will finish him off. Call to Arms connects on a Master of Arms, and he goes down a hat trick for Probusk when it was all said and done. And a 4-for-1 exchange, it looks like, is how it ultimately played out there. It seemed like that was actually going back and forth at the beginning, but Fresh just all of a sudden rolled over it.
Yeah, and I mean, it actually would have been that Aluna would have been dead as well, but Probus actually got caught in a spot I've never seen someone get caught in. It was right going into the river over there. He kind of just got stuck in the hill and couldn't get out.
Huh.
So kind of sucked a little bit for him. Probably could have got the Annihilation, but did get 4 kills out of it. So yeah, and now he's got that Thunderclaw, and that GPM is very high now.
Technically, Probusk got only the 3 kills, but
well,
four
he might have gotten Lodestone though if he wasn't caught.
Okay, so it could have been a 4th one. Yeah.
Could have possibly, maybe. We'll just go with that.
All right, but yeah, that GPM obviously skyrockets now. 540 gold per minute here all of a sudden for Probusk as he continues to sit in the jungle and get bigger and scarier. So yeah, BMG, just as we're talking about, they're keeping this game in check, and they're actually addressing the deadlift, you know, decent, and things are looking okay. It's a huge fight breaks out, and just so happened that Clanks came out on top with that Goon Squad and whatnot. Now, nice catch on a Midas again. Now, this is 4th death, so they're going to keep the pressure up. Again, Legionnaire did go that straight portal key as we're talking about with the Striders, and He's going to use it again right there to help get a kill. With it, at least.
Yeah, really needs a chalice or something. He just used all of his mana to get that one kill, and now has none. So he did buy a mana pot, but yeah, he definitely needs a chalice of some sort, or either a bottle or a chalice.
Meanwhile, top lane, Master of Arms survived the Lodestone Gladiator, or not Deadlift Gladiator, coming together. Even the Call to Arms coming out, but he actually got the Defensive Master's call up, and it was enough to help save him from them continuing to go on. And meanwhile, over here, Lodestone, he gets away before they're able to collapse onto him. But we do see Energizer picked up on a Master of Arms, so we got at least one of the first initial items coming out here for him. Madman, another hero that 240 gold per minute, though, so not a whole lot yet.
Yeah, but definitely doing well considering being in the suicide lane and a relatively 2v1 the whole time. So doing decent even with 2 deaths.
Lodestone Portal Key, it's coming here. 1,770 gold saved up. Bottom lane, Clanks gets caught. The Portal Key Legionnaire, but now it's a death crypt. But you see no one can really follow it up, so good catch there. Meanwhile, middle lane, though, speaking of Lodestone, at least they're going to kill him to prevent that Portal Key from coming ASAP. But still an important kill bottom lane. That's a streak stopper, too.
Yeah, and the whole gold lead for this Hellborn team or Legion team is all on this this Clank. So him dying is very crucial, and they really need to keep him safe. I'm thinking Legionnaire smoked because, or Veiled Rotted because there's a ward that would have seen him. So good use of the Veiled Rot if he did use it there.
Yeah, that's very possible. I didn't catch that, but yeah, well, that would make sense with the ward of sight being nearby. There's that Blood Chalice purchase. And again, Legionnaire is 380 gold per minute after that, too. And you see the top tower going down there, 375 gold per minute for Master of Arms. He has 1,780 gold saved up. So it's back to where it kind of was. It's not as, great because now you have Probuscure on Clanks is farming very, very well, even despite that death. But before that whole fight broke out here at the bottom, I mean, it's still kind of that case of BMG is actually in a decent spot here. And they got a bit going for them. Now, Master of Arms, he does buy the Mighty Blade. So, looks like going to be going straight into a Shrunken Head even. Prioritize that here against the Legion side. I mean, Clanks is a good amount of magic damage, as we talk about. So, you could argue that's a pretty good pickup here. Madman gets caught bottom lane meantime. They're going to do enough to kill him. No, Master's Call happens. And he will survive, actually. Legionnaire then taunts and decapitate to finish off Clanks. Legionnaire may fall. Nope, never mind. He's going to get away, actually. Now here's more chase. The goo is down, and down it goes Deadlift. What a turn there for Bad Monkey Gaming here at the bottom lane. And now they're going to push it out here.
Yeah, definitely good counter there. They saw their Madman get jumped, and luckily Legionnaire was already down there, so they get the more fighting going on, though.
Oh, Fusin, yeah, he got a little caught in the jungle, I guess.
Lodestone,
he's going to be pulled back. They're on top of him here, but I don't think they're going to kill him as he's dodging everything, man. And Boxy, yeah, he will be good. So, they don't push the tower, but...
Dodged all the spells there, so... And almost has his portal key on the Lodestone as well. So a lot of... I just noticed that Madman is also building an Energizer.
Huh.
Maybe... I don't want to say it's bad to have 2 on a team, but it kind of is. Because Madman's going to be off on his own doing a lot of solo things, so... It's not terrible. I just don't think it was the best item he could have went here.
Yeah.
Like I said, he doesn't do a lot of solo things, so it's okay to have it, have 2 of them, but later on in the game, it just won't be a factor of an item.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit out of place for sure. Agree there. So it is always interesting seeing the double Energizer, whether it was just he kind of didn't pay attention to that or just figured, as you're pointing out, sure, if he is going to be doing more solo work, then maybe that's where it could be decent, but yeah, probably would have rather seen something else. Honestly, even something like that Abyssal Skull or even just straight into the Shrunken Head, really. Because this, as we're going back to, you see Master of Arms, I saw him purchase the Mighty Blade, at least. I believe it is coming out with a courier here. He's very likely going to be going for that, and it's pretty good here against this Legion team, actually. I mean, every single hero has something that you want the Shrunken Head against, and especially with the damage of Clank. So it's actually going to prove to be a pretty big pickup, I think, here for the Hellborn side.
All their cores are going to need it, the Legionnaire, the Master of Arms, the Madman. So, yeah, that is where kind of that, it's exactly 1,000 gold went into those 2 items. So, yeah, it's going to be, it would have been nice. We would have done better with the Mighty Blade at this point. It would have given him the extra tankiness. But I'll have to see what he does with the Energizer by himself.
Again, this is a third-place match, guys. Our third game, for that matter. The winner of this takes home the third-place prize pool money. The fourth-place team, unfortunately, goes home with nothing. So, pretty big deal here. Want to at least get something out of this time to win Invitational. It's been a lot of fun here so far. Our grand finals are set to happen next, though. Obviously, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen until this series is over. So, kind of hoping this one doesn't last a long, long time. But that is the plan of the schedule right now. I know for the European crowd, could mean a little bit later of a night, perhaps. It is a Friday night, though. I think that is kind of the saving grace. It's not like it's a middle weekday here or anything like that. We're all gamers. What am I saying? You guys are going to be up to like 5 a.m. in the morning, so that's just fine.
You're talking to the wrong crowd here, Breaky.
Yeah, right. I always find that interesting when we kind of bring that up. It's like, oh, it's getting late for the Euro. It's like 11:30 p.m. and I'm like thinking to myself, like, dude, at least when I grew up. I mean, I'm older now. Like that could be a more appropriate bedtime for me. But man, when I was younger, sit up to like 2, 3 in the morning every night, man.
That's everyone. I'm pretty sure everyone's okay with staying up maybe a little bit later tonight.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so that's the plan, guys. Again, it's Sync versus Complexity is going to be the following series to this. That's just the best way to put it. So at this point, it's clearly not going to be at the default time, which would be 5 minutes from now. So.
Well, I could. It is 15 minutes, so.
Yeah, one team could give up. You're right.
You never know. I'm just saying.
That's possible, but yeah, probably not going to happen. I think there's still plenty of game left in this one. Top lane, Master of Arms. It's going to help last the game longer for sure. Master of Arms gets caught by the Death Grip. Here's that follow-up. He gets the Master's Call on again at the last second, but it's just not enough. Legionnaire got there a split second late as well to decapitate. Was that just disjointed?
No, he dunked the creep.
Okay. That makes more sense then.
I think he hit the deadlift creep, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say, I mean, I don't feel like that's something you could actually disjoint, especially have it go on cooldown, but it's still not over just yet. Midas, he is once again going to barely escape right here. As the pitfall goes out, it will be dodged. Gladiator on the run with those Ghost Marchers. Showdown to make sure to keep them at bay. But nope, Legionnaire, he goes in, and he gets a couple of auto attacks to actually kill Gladiator in the end. So quite the skirmish at the top lane. They do lose Master of Arms, though. Again, a split seconds on a couple things. Just couldn't happen.
Yeah, and I mean, this whole time there's also a free farming Clank, so I do believe this pretty much heavily benefits this Legion team. Sure, they lost a couple of heroes there, but they also now having this free farming Clank,
Lightning speed.
who might be dead.
Well, there is Rhapsody here with the level 6. She's in range for a protected melody. Oh, she opens with a stun right there. Little did she know Madman happened to be right nearby and ends up dying to it. So I guess that's better than her teammate dying in the long run. Madman, though, he ends up getting caught. A little too up, so ends up being worth all that exchange in there of the 1-for-1. So well played by the Legion team to then catch. And Clank's going to continue to go about his way, farming up the jungle here. Doing what he does best, flash farming. So you see Denver Pro, by the way, how he's playing the deadlift. He actually passes up Resurrection. I was actually going to bring that up last game. I noticed at level 6, Teltuk actually got Resurrection at level 6, and I thought it's probably not worth it, considering how long it takes to cast and how weak it really is. But I think this is more of the usual. You get it at level 10 and 11, and then eventually, of course, at level 16. But
yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. Like you said, 4 seconds to sit there and have to cast it, and I mean the gravestone is either most likely going to get killed or you're going to get canceled. So yeah, it's just not a game-breaking ultimate at level 1. Level 2 a little bit better, but even then it's still. But 3-man or 2-man Veldrot into the jungle right now.
Legionnaire coming out right there. I'm not catching anybody just yet. Gladiator is just a little too far away. However, he's going to open in the middle lane now, and now they might find a chance. However, there's the Legion team kind of nearby, so this is going to be interesting how it plays out. Gladiator gets jumped on. He is going to be dunked on. Gets taken out there. Lodestone, though, he is now in the front lines, and he, too, is going to fall, it looks like. But no, the Shatterstorm. I didn't even realize that was going off, honestly. It eventually did, though. And it killed Boxy, or killed Penny, excuse me. Boxy does go down, though, so a 2-for-1 there. In the middle, that's what says is going to be interesting. Meanwhile, bottom tower, nice deny there from Midas. As Madman was trying to kill the tower, and now actually in some trouble. The Death Grip, of course, it's going to hit. There's the Transmute. Actually, no Transmute there to follow. They do dust him, though. He is going to be enough to get away, though. The speed, never mind. Portal kill Midas.
Yeah.
They do catch him. All right, good catch there.
And there's the shrunken finish on Master. It's great he has it and all, but you see it. He's 388 GPM. He doesn't really have a farming item, so he can't really skyrocket, which is why I would have liked to see the Thunderclaw.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you're gonna go the shrunken head, like at least we usually see that farming tool, like you're pointing out, the Thunderclaw, but getting the shrunken head with just an Energizer and Steam Boots, it does seem a little out of place. It's almost like, I mean, which I guess is kind of fun now I'm thinking about. It's like they're making a point that we need to win this game in these next like 10 minutes here, which against the Clanks it's not a bad thing to do, but it's just now a matter of let's see, are they going to do that? I mean, we talked about that, I think it was even the first game. We saw like the early portal keys, and then BMG just didn't seem like they were really using it as much as they should have. Will they be aggressive now? Will they force fights? Because now they have a shrunken on even Teltuk too, on that Legionnaire, as well as Master, and it's coming on Madman. So they're going to have 3 shrunken heads here coming up with not a whole lot of farm utility necessarily on these heroes. So.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of gave up on the whole farming. Now, their team can fight. Like, don't get me wrong. They could really force a fight with all these Shrunkens, and, I mean, they can win a fight. But the problem is now this Clanks has a Shrunken, and that GPM is not going to stop, and he's just going to keep surpassing everyone on this Hellborn team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gladiator. He's searching around with that Veiled Rot. Meanwhile, here, speaking of Veiled Rot, you got Lodestone and Master of Arms. They're going to find an illusion. Oh, that's always the worst when you think you have a big jump and then it turns out to be fake. And now Madman, top lane, he too is going to go down, actually. So Maka gets caught at the top lane in response, and it ends up being a kill for Fresh instead. However, the rest are going to group up middle lane here. Oh, Aluna, what are you doing? A little too far up there.
Help.
And they got the Shrunken used. Wow.
Yeah, they did. And, that's pretty big. Now they can't fight. And this Clanks is ready to fight with the Shrunken Firebrand. They can start doing whatever they want at this point. So, and you see them even starting to get ready and group up.
Yeah, that was a pretty sloppy sequence of events there overall, definitely, for Bad Monkey Gaming. And again, they can't have many more of those, because like we're going to, it's with the way they're building especially, this is not a team that's going to continue to scale, flash farm capabilities, especially compared to this Clanks, who is just on the up and up. Now, you do see a Quick Blade purchase by Master of Arms, so he is going to start to get a little bit more damage output now, naturally, but just coming a little bit later on here. Clankso in the meantime, another nearly 1,000 gold saved up, so on his way to finishing that Geometer's Band, I'm sure. And then following that up, Midas hasn't had a huge game, I guess. He doesn't have the portal key. He's got the major totem here. He's going to build that tablet now.
They're really playing this like kind of ECX does with the 4-1 strat of just literally everything is on Clanks at this point. So, and they don't have the best protection for him. Yeah, they have the Rhapsody ult, but if it gets canceled and the Gladiator can't get his ulti off, he's going to take a lot of damage in these fights because Shrunken does nothing against Legionnaire, and a Legionnaire can almost 100 to 0 him.
Mm-hmm. How about Gladiator? That is interesting. The Broadsword, now to follow up the Energizer.
Yeah, going for the Shroud. Maybe I would have liked to see more of the supportive-ish builds. Maybe into like a tablet, maybe a Sackstone would have been great this game, actually. They don't even have one. Yeah, I would have liked to see them pick up a Sackstone on Gladiator even, so. Or someone at this point, because it'll do a lot this game. They're facing pretty much all armor heroes. I mean, yeah, it's against the Lodestone, but still, it'll help after the Lodestone ulti.
Yeah, it it really kind of goes back to last game with Fresh, where pointing out the lack of Abyssal Skull was almost disturbing when it was so obvious that they could have really used it that game. They never ended up getting it, though. They were prioritizing just, like the staff on Pharaohs. We were talking about things like that. This game, yeah, I think the Sackstone would absolutely be great on Gladiator. So going this more damage route, we'll see if that can prove to be a faulty decision or not. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Madman, he eventually is going to be caught. Now, will he be killed? Probably. Showdown to bring it back. There's the pitfall. And with no shrunken head, yeah, not really a big chance for Madman to get out of here as down he goes. Now, they do counter push middle lane at least, so something there for BMG happening, but losing your Madman, never a great thing by any means. They also steal some Legion Ancients, but it was only a single set, so that wasn't necessarily a big deal either for them.
Yeah. I mean, this farming game is just going to benefit this Legion team, because once that Clanks gets maybe one or two more items, I mean, finishes the Geo, or he could just go straight into the Wingbow, which definitely wouldn't be bad this game. I'd like to almost see that, so. But Geos would be good as well. But, I mean, once he gets those items, and there's a Storm Spear finished on Deadlift, even better for them. Just more protection for him. Yeah, they're going to have a lot of protection for this Clanks now, and it's going to be pretty difficult for this Hellborn team to actually kill him.
Yeah, this No Fire Blade on Baltazar, it's coming, and we talked about that. It's the red gun especially. It's some great mana drain, and you see it is going to be purchased right there. So nice damage amp for him to have, most certainly. And then also the purge effect. There's plenty this game to be able to purge. So I do definitely like this choice, but it really keeps going back to I feel like I'm a broken record here, but just like the first game, man. I mean, BMG, where's the action? Like they're not forcing any issues here. They're not trying to make plays. It seems like they're just very content on farm, and we saw what happened that first game. Granted, it's somewhat different with the silhouette, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe they're kind of looking at the fact of, oh, we have a Madman, a Legionnaire, and a Master of Arms. We can outcarry this Clanks. But, yes, in reality, in a 55, 60-minute game, yes, they could. But they also need a Basher and a Shrunken on this Madman, along with a couple items on this Master. So, I mean, if they want to play the farming game, they kind of have a window of, they need to make the decision of, do we fight now, or do we just sit back and fight or farm for till 50 minutes and win the game? Which, I mean, Clanks is also going to have a window of like 20 minutes to win the game when he's pretty much 6 slotted ahead of all of them. So
yeah,
kind of like a game of time slots here.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting way to put it here. And the way it feels like, again, they are just, like I said, content on taking that late game style instead. The barbed armor on Legionnaire, I gotta say, usually I'm not a huge fan of it. I've talked about this in the past. It's almost counterproductive to me. You know how it's like you're going in, you're taunting, reducing damage done to you, yet then you try to amp or return damage. But this game, I mean, I do like it. There's a lot of uncontrollable damage from Clanks coming out. A barbed armor is pretty good against him in general. So Lodestone also happens to purchase it at the same time. So even just more items, though, screaming this point of, we need a fight. It's like, you don't get barbed armor to continue to sit back and farm. So
yeah, if they keep farming at this point, it'll be a little worrisome. I mean, if Clanks can finish this Wingbow before a big fight, this could be a decent problem here for this Hellborn team.
Yeah. He is going about the jungle here. As you pointed out, the Wingbow passing up the Geometer's Bane for now. So he is freely farming it for the time being. I mean, I'm looking at this bottom portion of the map. There's literally no vision down here for the Legion side, yet Clanks is just roaming around the jungle, farming it away. And I feel like those are just missed opportunities here from Bad Monkey Gaming. Going back to that, Madman does finish the Shrunken Head now. So again, they have it on him, Master. You got Legionnaire, the 2 barbed armors that I talked about. You have another 1,300 gold on Master, but it's not like, again, he's not snowballing with his farm. No Fireblade, the Shrunken Head, it's not a very heavy flash round. But granted, with the skill set, he's able to do that pretty well. You do have an Assassin Shroud now finished, however, on Gladiator. And is there anything else really coming? No, it doesn't look like it. Other than that, it is just that Wingbow, really, for Clanks. But so now it's going to be a spot, though, if you're fresh when he has that Wingbow. You may not mind these fights kind of taking place. So
yeah,
this whole timetable is kind of being just barely missed here, it feels like, for BMG. I mean, hell, even Kongor, there's no vision right now from Fresh on the Kongor pit. Yeah, we haven't even remotely seen a Kongor attempt. They haven't even attempted the thought, it seems like.
Yeah, and they have a Master of Arms, and they can take Kongor relatively easy, and a Madman. So, bot lane though. Oh,
we finally have something. This is somewhat bait. Look at Legionnaire though. He's going to scout them. Oh, he puts the ward. I thought he was going in almost, but yeah, he was just simply warding.
Did he not get seen placing that? That's. I mean, he was seen. I guess they just didn't see if he had a ward or not. So. I mean, that's a really deep ward. I mean, that looks like they do want to fight because they're probably going to try to group up down there. And, oh, looks like they're grouping up top. Just kidding.
Yeah, the middle lane, they're trying to bait out this Probusk here, but, you know, obviously Fresh, or more so BMG, is not having any of it. Assassin Shroud Glad, oh, that's an Invis, actually. He just has a straight-up Invis in here in the middle lane. Scouting it out, seeing if maybe get somebody out of position, but the way this game is played since we've left the laning phase especially, it's just been very, very, very safe on either side. Again, there's good money on the line. It's, you know, just over $100 for each person on the team here, where if you lose, you get nothing. I don't care who you are. Yes, it's not life-changing money, but if you're offered $100 to win a game of Han, then I think you would take that. So that's essentially what's on the line here for these guys.
I think everyone would.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they can fight anymore. I think this Wingbow and Clanks is kind of the telltale sign that they don't want to fight anymore. And, I mean, if Legion just wants to go force a fight anywhere, they're probably just going to win it.
Bottom lane, trying to catch Gladiator.
They got the Shrunken used.
Yeah, they did. Madman's popping the Shrunken, and that's going to be on cooldown now for another 70 seconds here. So I need to be very careful with that, of course. As now is falling back, but trying to prevent from being caught here is going to be fine, it looks like, right here. So got a little scary for him, but he makes it his way out of there. Meanwhile, back to the bottom lane down here. And here comes now push from our Legion side.
Yeah. I'd really actually like to see a Symbol of Rage picked up here by Clanks. Once he survives the burst, they're all dead. And I'd really like to see that symbol. It would be a huge item for him at this point.
What about Geometer's Bane? I mean, finishing that at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing for the Geometers, it'll be a lot for the MOA abilities, just to get him off. So, I mean, it wouldn't be bad if he finished it. I don't think he needs to, though. I don't feel like it's a required thing he needs to do this game. So, but if he does, it wouldn't be bad, of course, because, I mean, it does give him extra stats, just more HP, and the ability to cleanse, so it wouldn't be terrible.
Double stack, going to double stack the Ancients here is BMG, and then, well, hopefully, never mind. He just missed the timing, unfortunately, so I guess Deltec might have been looking at something else there, or paying attention elsewhere, but little bit of missed farm coming out, but not necessarily huge game-changing, just somewhat gonna be a little concerned of, as another broadsword purchased by Gladiator, so he's going the damage all the way. He's going to be building Rift Shards here. Different guy.
Totally committing to this full damage build, and I mean, if he gets one whip crit off in a fight, Clanks is just going to tear through everything. Even if it's only like 600 damage, it's still a lot of damage. That's true damage. So, yeah, I mean, that could be pretty big. So, excited to see if he does get that whip crit with this Clanks.
Yeah. I don't know. Normally I would be loving this, but it's just something about this. It's like with the farm that he's been able to get, I do feel like the Storm Spirit, you know, the tablets here, that supporting tool set to save Clanks. It's just Clanks is that hero. He will be able to do enough damage for you as long as you keep him alive anyway. So
yeah, it's definitely that kind of feeling that he could have went the supportive build and did great. So, I mean, it's going to just depend on it's a luck factor now if he does get that whip crit. So, I mean, it's not going to be as consistent as if he did go a tablet, Storm Spirit, Sackstone. But we'll just have to see if it's just luck. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Slayer on to Madman here, so that Savage Mace. Of course, trying to pick up one of those to help deal with this Clanks here. Now having that wing bow. There's a Ring of the Teacher finally coming out. We see it on a deadlift picked up, so they at least get some bit of armor.
Yeah, wonder if he's going to finish that Abyssal, because I mean, the lifesteal effect really does nothing this game, so... or if he'll just hold on to the Ring of the Teacher.
Yeah, a little more than life still that you get out of
That's
the
true.
full Abyssal, of course, but that is definitely a bigger part of it. I mean, I think you can warrant getting it still, just because, I mean, you have it in your inventory. It might be worth just finishing simply for that, but...
Taking gnomes.
Yeah.
No, it won't be, but it could be the
Probably not. Probably not.
Well, I mean, Clanks is kind of going the build, I said. I mean, if he gets a Symbol of Rage, he'll be unkillable, and just did buy the Whispering Helm, so... And once he finishes that symbol, he's really close. They're going to start forcing fights.
Wait, he bought it and he has 3,500 gold? Holy
No, he bought the Whispering Helm.
Yeah, and he still has 3,500 gold.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. He's farming 640 GPM, or 630 GPM at this point, so... Yep.
Gone up
Little
and up.
scary.
All right, well, the barbed armors, I mean, again, still a thing. It's not like that's changed. It's just haven't really seen action since you've seen those picked up. This has just been a very passive game for the last 15 minutes here. Ever since that 20-minute mark, really, it's kind of just completely shut off as far as fights. I mean, ganks even. It's just both teams are just a lot of passive play. I mean, we do see a little bit of roam here now coming out from Fresh. Deadlift going to send that Death Grip out. Check Kongor real quickly, but not happening. Yeah, earlier you can argue BMG had a chance to maybe try to steal Kongor, but didn't try for it, thus weren't able to get it in the end. And apparently it's going to be more evasioning. I mean, I guess BMG, they still want that Savage on Madman. They want it next tier on Master of Arms, so it's understandable why we're constantly still even now playing more of the avoid game. But with Clanks in the symbol now, I do think I think Fresh is actually in a spot finally of, okay, we can now make plays here.
Yep, they're going to go hit the face with the Clank.
Here we go. Is missing a little bit, not having the Savage, of course, but...
Yeah, he didn't want to use his flight. If he does fly, he doesn't miss on towers, but the way flight works now, you don't want to use it in a bad position where you can just get it taken off instantly, so...
Yeah.
Better just miss those hits than risk dying.
That's true. I will say, again, that's just one of the many things that Nullfire Blade will be able to remove, though, from the Master of Arms, so having that tool again. It's a pretty big deal. It's the Legion team, they're setting up around the Kongor pit. He gave...
Give the illusions.
Okay, so yeah, that's an illusion rune.
Give him the bottle illusions.
Another Rift Shards purchase. I think we're going to see level 2 coming out here in the Gladiator. So a little bit more damage to happen. No, not actually doing Kongor. Abyssal Skull was also finished on Deadlift, so another item that they complete. He's sending out the Death Grip again, going to scout out those hidden spots. See if, just in case somebody's hiding around, but not the case here. So we're getting a little bit of, I mean, both teams are, at least Fresh is starting to now kind of try to make something happen, but still you can tell it's very cautious. Now their team wants to overcommit. Boy, this is just one of those games where it's going to come down to just a big clash here. Of somebody finally getting a jump somewhere. Kongor usually does it in these games like this.
Yeah. Like you were saying, the Purge on the Master of Arms, he goes a portal key. So
wow.
he's going to try to jump in that back and just instantly take off the plate. I think that's going to be their plan here, is just full out commit to this Clanks because they know everything is on this Clanks. If he dies, they're going to win the team fight.
That's where the Storm Spirit on deadlift can come in handy.
Yeah, definitely.
And
he's just going to solo this.
He doesn't have level 3 res yet, though. He has level 2, but still, here we go. There's the jump finally. Legionnaire goes in with the taunt. Barbed armor up. Clanks is doing some damage to himself. He does have the symbol if necessary. After the time, Master of Arm burns down Rhapsody. Clanks, he turns on the symbol. He is healing up a bit. He is missing some of the uphill, but Master of Arms is forced out as the call to arms also comes in. Clanks is going to stay well alive. Madman goes down. He did have that Savage Mace he just purchased. Unfortunately, he dies with it. He is not buying back. Aluna goes down. It's a hat trick for Probusk in the midst of it. They do not stay around and finish off Kongor. Instead, well, no, they're going to reset, it looks like. There was a buyback used, by the way, on Legionnaire, I believe it was. As he gets caught off to the side, and they're going to jump him. He pops his Shrunk in. Now that damage coming at Master's trying to steal it. Oh, Master steals a token in the meantime. The bait was real from Legionnaire. Now, can they make a play with this? Storm Spirit onto Clanks. Clanks is going to finish off Legionnaire to the side. Clanks is in a great spot right here, though. Master is going to fall. And now he's going to come up in a bad spot here. He's going to be locked down. Master of Arms will go down. It was a beautiful attempt, but ultimately 5 kills throughout it for Probusk. And Fresh is now a huge lead here.
Yeah, definitely the right idea by Balthazar there. I mean, needed to get that token, and yeah, it's just that kind of timing thing. This was the peak of where this Legion team was going to get with the Clanks. So, still fighting.
Yeah, they're going to go all out here for a defense, and it's kind of working off the back. Gladiator is going to fall, actually. But now it is just Master of Arms. He put the Master's Call on him. But you just see Clanks in the background. He's still well alive. In fact, Resurrection here on a Gladiator, as it is a level 3 res now. So it comes out with that full life, full mana, and the racks. It is going to be destroyed. Madman does finally resurrect, but clearly it's too late for the middle. And could be too late even for the bottom. I mean, they're going to go down here. They still got a good 15 seconds or so, and that's plenty of time for how much damage they have here.
Yeah, but Symbol is about to be up on the Clanks as well, and they can just force another fight if they want to.
Yeah, has that good to go. Master does put the stun out. They're going to try here. Get him to use a Shrunk, and it's so difficult with that flight. Master not able to purge it off, it looks like. Madman, he is caught. Showdown brings that back. Master's going to sit on Clanks, but Clanks is holding his ground, and he still has that symbol. There we go. He pops it. He barely dies. The Storm Spirit comes out. The Protector melting. Clanks is going to live. Once again, double tap, and I think Fresh officially has broken through here.
Yeah, in that fight also, Clanks was actually 5 seconds stunned there. So that was their chance to
kill
Clanks.
That's what it was?
There.
Okay.
Yeah, that was their chance, but that Storm Spirit came in very clutch.
And the Protective Melody at the last second, too, just in case. So an attempt by BMG to hold it, but in the end, Fresh was too much, and the Clanks too much. Had great team support, of course, around him. And Fresh will be your third-place finishers here in the Time to Win Invitational, so they take home their share of that prize pool. And as far as BMG is concerned, they'll finish 4th place and unfortunately come up short of anything other than a job well done overall. So, but yeah, final thoughts on the series here, Grosta.
Really excited to see this Fresh team actually start to make an identity for themselves. They played very well today, and definitely playing against BMG, who's also a very good team. So, just well played by Fresh.
It was a good game by them indeed, and deserving of the series here. Fun to watch, and you can't help but think, again, we got Bad Monkey game, and they had spots there in that game where maybe if they just tried a little more to make things happen when they had the lead, they got the Shrunken early, they even got those barbed armors, yet they weren't forcing fights. They insisted on continuing to farm and then let Fresh take the game to them. It just didn't work, similar to that first game. So working on those timings is something that BMG, I feel like, could use better for moving forward, at least from today. So, but again, Fresh deserving of that victory. They take it 2-1, and they are your 3rd-place finishers. That will put us in a spot, though. We're going to go on a short break right here. Get set up for now the grand finals. It looks like they are already in their lobby and going to be good to go here shortly. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take that short break. We'll be back, though. We got our grand finals here of the Time to Win Invitational. It is Sync Esports versus Complexity in a best-of-3 series. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.